How did Xiao Qingrong remain speechless? How is it possible that the other party has already made them? Even if they were reborn, they couldn't possibly accomplish so much in so little time, could they? It didn't know how to respond because the host seemed sad. It could only know so much. Sorry, host, I couldn't discover any other valuable information. Rebirths are unique. Everything is sealed and highly secretive. In this attempt, I am absolutely useless to you. The system is a liar. Without these, it sounds very soulless. In that regard, 618 felt like the world's most worthless system. It couldn't even aid its host, and if it did, it would just be in the way. Fortunately, Xiao Qingrong already knew it wouldn't help, so he didn't hold out much hope. It's okay, neither the medical pod nor the pupil scanner are required. Allow someone else to do it better. However, can you turn up any other information about this person? Xiao Qingrong was nevertheless grateful. Now he wouldn't have to waste so much time and energy on pointless hobbies. Otherwise, he'd have to waste countless hours on stuff he didn't really care about. The last thing he wanted to do was make himself accomplish anything. I know. Zhang Zirwei is his name. It's Xian Ye's grandson, and after some inquiry, the subject for which you were imprisoned is also related to him. Indeed, 618 had only recently remembered such vital facts. She was immediately enraged. Why were people so terrible? Why couldn't they function similarly to calculators? Xiao Qingrong was used to the slow processing of 618. After hearing the inquiry, Qingrong had already made a similar guess. His destiny was altered because he was never supposed to go to prison. This implies that someone was aware of his existence and desired to alter it. Xiao Qingrong, on the other hand, thought it strange. Fully self-driving cars, for example, were difficult to replicate. It was understandable that he wished to plagiarize, but how? This was Xiao Qingrong's obsession, and Zhang Zirwei was going insane. While Qingrong suspected Zirwei of having main character syndrome, due to his opportunity to replay his life, Zirwei's first purpose was to approach the future scientist, alias Xiao Qingrong, but he did not expect the scientist he so admired to be a phony. Because of Zhang Zirwei's solid mental capacity, the super inventor system altered its mind and tied itself to him instead of Xiao Qingrong. Zhang Zirwei instantly realized at the time that the greatest scientist of the century was nothing more than a methodical, trained cheat. It was all a ruse. When Zirwei discovered that his father's illegitimate son attended the same school as Qingrong, he was furious and ashamed. He planned the accident to kill his father's illegitimate child while also imprisoning Xiao Qingrong, thereby killing two birds with one stone. Xiao Qingrong, whom he admired, was just an ordinary person in his opinion. The system was responsible for all of the so-called great inventions. This devastated Zirwei, so he resolved to succeed Qingrong and become the greatest scientist of the century. Zirwei was overjoyed when he received the system. Among the various possibilities available, he determined that fully automated car production would benefit the country the most. After over a year of investigation, it was finally completed. However, he did not anticipate that it would be raided by authorities during the press conference. Despite how essential the technology was, he was set to be imprisoned after his capture and detention. In order to avoid going to jail, he took the initiative to inform the higher-ups about the medical pod. As a result, he was admitted to the National Academy of Science as a prisoner, which was not official. This meant that whatever invention he created would be held by the state. He didn't like this kind of untidy study because everyone in the National Academy of Sciences was crazy when it came to scientific research, but he had to appear to like it. This is most likely a fortunate turn of events. He would never have decided to betray his daughter for the possibility of being released from prison if it hadn't been for Xiao Qingrong meeting Xian Yi. She was Zirwei's mother. In any event, the fully autonomous car offered numerous advantages. After all, Zhang Zirwei intended to use it to achieve the pinnacle of his existence. Unfortunately, he ran across a ghost while driving. However, this was only possible because he made terrible decisions and desired a monopoly. Given that the original Xiao Qingrong unconditionally donated the medical pod to the country, the pupil scanner was developed in collaboration with the National Scientific Research Department, hence, it was not his invention. In addition, the technology for the fully autonomous car was created in collaboration with the government. 618 couldn't uncover any more valuable information about him, but Xiao Qingrong's trial had begun. Qinglong has picked 5 people to participate in his experiment. Many people wanted to be first, but because the group was so large, everyone was battling for the same spots. These 5 people were either blind or had limbs that were missing. He went straight to production after getting their measurements. The prosthetics were probably built even faster as a result of his recent experience. The 5 test individuals were ready for installation after a month. I notice. The blind man was speechless. During a battle, a knife slashed his eye, and he had no choice but to give up on his right eye. Light entered his eye for the first time in ages after inserting the prosthetic, and he was overcome with joy. Others had similar sentiments. Those who had their limbs rejoined couldn't stop flailing them around. The sensation of moving their arms and legs was thrilling. A 24-year-old man was continually stroking his new mechanical legs, which he could feel hitting the ground. His eyes were burning, and he was relieved to have legs again. Xiao Qingrong approached them and began collecting data for his experiment. What do you feel as you move? Do you have any abrasions or pains? Qing Liang, a young man who had recently regained his legs, reacted. It doesn't hurt, and it feels fantastic. As I walk, it feels quite natural. I can feel the temperature of the floor and even my legs with my fingers. Dr. Xiao, are you sure I'm not dreaming? Is this true? Of course, all of this is true. These are extremely sensitive mechanical prostheses capable of simulating human sensations. For example, one of its characteristics is that you can feel the ground. It also has solar panels, so it may be recharged by basking in the sun or directly from other energy sources. Xiao Qingrong was really pleased with his experiment. It was growing more convenient, and its comfort level was approaching that of genuine limbs. Thank you, Dr. Xiao. I will pay close attention and charge it properly. Qin Liang believed he could do anything as long as he could stand, even if it meant standing in the sun all day to charge it, he was willing. Do you have any discomfort in your eyes? Is it balanced when viewed with both eyes? Is there any influence on the rotation of the eye when you move it? He persisted in his inquiry, and the blind guy immediately responded. Fortunately, all of the results were satisfactory and within Qingrong's calculated range. He returned to the villa to rest after recording all of the data. Xinyi was pleased with the outcome. He'd become accustomed to his fingers returning. He could now complete most things because of the distinct sensation his fingertips provided. After finishing his meal, Xiao Qingrong was going to retire when he heard a knock. Come on in. Qingrong recognized Liang Xian and had probably waited long enough for a conversation. As soon as Xiao Qingrong's comments were made, Liang Xian entered and gave Qingrong a complicated look. He had not expected to need assistance from such a person one day. Is your high-sensitivity mechanical prosthesis finished, code 7543? Isn't it capable of assisting a large number of other people?